Welcome to Easy Peasy English. In today's long-form intermediate English practice lesson, you will focus on improving your listening and speaking skills through calm explanations, practical strategies, and real-life examples. This lesson is designed for learners who already understand basic English but want to speak more smoothly, confidently, and naturally. At the intermediate level, many learners understand English when listening, but feel stuck when speaking. You may know the words, but your sentences feel slow, broken, or unclear. This lesson will help you connect your listening skills with your speaking skills so English flows more easily when you talk. Let's start with an important mindset shift. At the intermediate level, improvement does not come from learning many new words every day. Improvement comes from using what you already know more effectively. You already have enough vocabulary to communicate. Now, your goal is fluency, clarity, and confidence. Listening is the foundation of good speaking. When you listen carefully, your brain learns sentence rhythm, natural pauses, pronunciation, and common expressions. That is why podcasts are powerful tools for learning English. You can listen anywhere, anytime, and repeat as often as you want. A useful strategy is active listening. Active listening means you do not just hear the words. You notice how sentences are formed, where the speaker pauses, and how ideas are connected. For example, notice how speakers use simple connectors like and, but, because, and so. These small words make your speaking sound more natural. Now let's talk about speaking at the intermediate level. Many learners try to speak too fast. They believe fluency means speed. In reality, fluency means control. Speaking clearly and calmly is more important than speaking quickly. Slow and confident English sounds more professional and natural. One effective speaking strategy is expanding simple sentences. For example, instead of saying, I work in an office, you can say, I work in an office and I enjoy my job because I like working with people. You are using the same basic words, but you are adding meaning. Let's look at a real-life example. Imagine someone asks, how was your day? A basic answer might be, it was good. An intermediate answer could be, it was good, but a little busy. I had many meetings, so I felt tired in the afternoon. This answer sounds more natural and expressive. At the intermediate level, it is important to practice talking about experiences. You can talk about your day, your week, or your past experiences. Use simple past tense sentences like, yesterday I went to work early, or last weekend I stayed at home and relaxed. These sentences help you practice time expressions naturally. Another key skill is expressing opinions. You can use simple phrases like, I think, I feel, or in my opinion. For example, I think learning English takes time, or I feel more confident than before. Expressing opinions makes conversations more engaging. Let's talk about listening and speaking together. A powerful technique is listening first, then speaking. After listening to a short part of a podcast, pause and summarize what you heard in your own words. This improves comprehension and speaking at the same time. Shadowing is another helpful technique. Shadowing means listening and repeating at the same time or just after the speaker. This helps with pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence. You do not need to understand every word. Focus on sound and flow. Motivation is very important at the intermediate level. Many learners feel stuck because progress feels slower than before. This is normal. At this stage, improvement is happening inside your brain, even if you do not notice it immediately. Trust the process. A helpful motivation tip is to focus on communication, not mistakes. If people understand you, you are successful. Small grammar mistakes do not stop communication. Confidence and clarity matter more. Let's look at another example conversation. Someone asks, what do you usually do in your free time? You can answer, In my free time, I usually watch movies or listen to podcasts. I like relaxing after a busy day. This answer is simple, clear, and natural. Now, let's practice describing situations. You can describe your work environment, your home, or your daily routine. For example, I work in a quiet office. I usually start at 9 and finish at 5. These descriptions build speaking confidence. Another important skill is asking follow-up questions. Conversation is not only about speaking, it is also about listening and responding. You can ask, "How about you?" or "What do you think?" These simple questions keep conversations going. One common problem intermediate learners face is overthinking grammar. Try to think in ideas, not grammar rules. If you focus on meaning first, grammar will improve naturally over time. Daily practice is the key to improvement. Even 10 or 15 minutes of listening and speaking practice every day makes a big difference. Consistency is more important than long study sessions once a week. Let's talk about self-confidence. Confidence grows from action. The more you listen and speak, the more comfortable you become. Do not wait until you feel ready. Practice makes you ready. You can practice speaking alone by describing your thoughts, your plans, or your feelings. For example, today I want to improve my English, or I feel more confident than last month. This kind of self-talk builds fluency. As you continue your English journey, remember that intermediate learners are already successful learners. You have built a strong foundation. Now you are refining your skills. Do not rush your progress. English fluency is not a race. It is a gradual process. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the practice, and enjoy the small improvements. As we come to the end of this long intermediate practice lesson, remember this message. You already know enough English to communicate. Now, your goal is to use it more naturally, more confidently, and more often. Thank you for learning with Easy Peasy English. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep improving every day.